Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. In honor of Valentine's Day, I am going to do a 14 pairs of earrings in red and pink Blitz. So we'll have red or pink or a mixture of the two. I am adding white and clear. I'm sticking solely with silver components so I don't have to dig out many colors. So if you want to watch, stay tuned. Okay, so to get started, we're going to need just our normal selection of tools, a couple of pairs of pliers of some sort, your cutters, your round nose, nothing out of the ordinary. I do have one earring made of each one, just so that, I can get 14 pair in a timely manner, and because I needed to come up with 14 pairs of earrings. My design on the fly for 14 earrings would have taken me all day, not an hour video. So here we have earring number 1, and it is this cute little briolet drop, and a small rice crystal, and just this little silver component. I'll hold it up so you can see it just a little better here. It is in red. It isn't showing up great on here, but it is red. You can see a little of the red there. So we'll make this one first. And it's very simple. These are all very simple earrings. So we're just going to take a eye pin, and we're going to thread on the little, I think this may be a 5mm. It's not a 4, it's bigger than a 4. I think it's a 5mm spacer bead in silver. Our little wings, and the small rice bead. And I want to put it so that the thicker end, for some reason these rice beads never really taper both ways. One end is always a little fatter than the other. I cannot hold on to that one. I want the fatter end towards the butterfly wings so it starts to taper down. And then I'm just going to give it a bend, and this is a eye pin, so you just go ahead and make another eye at the other end with a simple loop. We don't have to wire wrap. So I'm just going to cut it off. So I spent all day yesterday cleaning and reorganizing my stash, relabeling and separating. It took me all day. It was a lot of fun, but wow, I had a lot of stuff to get rid of. All right, I do want these two to both line up evenly. So I'm going to turn them. I think I turned it the wrong way. Alright. So I want them parallel with each other. And then we're just going to take this big jump ring. I think it's an 8mm. It could be a little bit bigger than an 8mm. I don't think it's a 10. But somewhere in that range. And we're just going to go right through the hole of this briolet. You gotta be careful putting a jump ring through a briolet because you can crack them. You just want it to take its time and work its way down in there. This one's going to give me a hard time. I should have checked it beforehand because it might have a smaller hole. That one slid right on like nothing. It's coming through. And just line them up. There. And then we're just going to open up this one here. And then we have it. Just put the earring on. And there's no right or wrong side to these, so just put it on any old direction. And there is earrings. Whoop. Alright. Let's do it this way. There's earring set number 1. Alright. Now we'll move on to number 2. This one is just a 10mm pearl, a couple little pretty bead caps, a head pin, an eye pin, this little pink tulip, and a little pinkish crystal. It's pretty simple. So the first thing we're going to do is take the head pin, put on the crystal, put on the tulip facing down so that it cups the crystal, and we're going to do a wired wrap. Up and over, rotate, bring it around. So you have this. And this is a pretty thin wire, so I'm just going to use my fingers on it. Fingernails on it, I should say, rather than a tool. And then we have this. Whoop! I just lost my pearl. So I'm going to trim it. Could hold on to anything this morning. Get that out of the way. And give it a little tuck. And there is that piece ready to go. And then take the head pin, eye pin. I'm getting them totally reversed this morning. Put your bead cap on. The little pink pearl. Well, it ain't so little, I guess. It's a large pink pearl. And your other bead cap. And again, on this end, I'm just going to do a simple loop. So I'm just going to bend it right over the top of it. Snip it. Give it a roll. So we have this. Find the right side to open. That's where I usually struggle. I'm always trying to open the wrong side. Slip that on. And I didn't get out another ear wire, but I'll steal one. I'm going to come up short at the end. And there's our second pair of earrings. Pretty cute, simple. All right. And then we have the cute little linked hearts. And this one's pretty simple. It's just each one of these is going to be a simple loop except for one. This one will be on a head pin. It's a lot of head pin for this little tiny bead, but gotta do what you gotta do, right? And up and over. Rotate, bring it around. I'm gonna try and leave this one right on the pliers this time. And I think that's as far as it's gonna go, so we'll cut it off. All right, now behave. There we go. Did not want to get in there. Tuck that end, I guess. All nice and tucked. And then we just make 3 with simple loops, which are my favorite. I'm not a big fan of wrapped loops. But sometimes they're necessary, especially at the end of something like that. You don't want to have a big old open eye on the end of it. There's that one. And number 2. And on my crystal one, I want to be a little gentle because it is crystal. I don't want to break it. So I am going to bend it just a little above the crystal. Just a little space. Just so I don't crack it when I'm rolling my loop back. Oh, got a little wonky on me. Yeah. So there's our 3 pieces of the silver ones, and then our one little red one. And we are just going to open it up. String them together. Get the right side. And add our ear wire to this one. And there's our third pair of earrings. Those are pretty. Excuse me. These ones are extremely simple ones. It's just this pretty rose bead, a couple of silver beads, and a little charm hanger. It's one-sided. So these ones would be pretty simple to make. For some reason I do not have enough ear wires out. I don't know why I did that. I thought I had them all out, but that's alright. We'll grab those in a minute. And I do not have enough balls out. Hold on, I will return. Alright, I got out some extra ear wires and the other ball, and I could have sworn I put it in there, but that's par for the course. So I'm going to take one of the silver balls on an open eye pin, slide on my little rose bead, and another one of the silver balls. Give it a bend. I apologize for the phone ringing. Trim it off. And then roll it back. I might trim this one a little too long. No, it's okay. It looks alright. It's a little bit bigger than I would normally go, but that's okay. It works. And then we're just going to, yep, just going to do nothing right now at the moment because that's not what I do. I use a jump ring, evidently. So I have this little 4mm jump ring. And thanks. Yeah, it's good and closed. I want the red part of that crystal to hang forward, so I'm going to put it on so that it's heading in the right direction. And there we go. There's another pair made. I love these rose beads. They're so pretty. Those came in a bargain bead box monthly subscription one time, and I bought all kinds of them afterwards. I have several packages of them. I love them. Okay, now so we have a little fan bead. I think I have mine hanging backwards. Nope, maybe. We'll see. Nope, I guess I got it right. This little butterfly charm and this pretty little English cut crystal. It's not crystal, it's like it's just a glass bead of some sort. So let's make this one. So I'm going to take the one eye pin and feed on. I don't know why that pearl's there. It doesn't go to this. Probably the one I need it for is missing one. That's what I get for putting kits together at night when I'm tired. And then we're just going to put on this little English cut bead. Give it a bend. So I originally wanted to just try to make as many pairs of earrings as I could, just pulling out of my stash as I went. But I am so indecisive when I'm designing something. I take it apart, I put it together, I switch out pieces, I put something with it, and I'm like, no, I don't like that. I literally, in an hour, got 3 pairs of earrings done. So I was like, that's not going to work. I can't do that. I'm just not decisive enough. So I do want these 2 loops to line up. That's pretty good. Oh, thought it was. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, there we go. It is. Then these little teeny ones are hard to hold on my fat fingers. We're gonna put on this cute little butterfly charm. I probably didn't open it up enough. These charms are kind of thick. We'll see. Oh, I can force it on there. That's good. It is very, very windy out today. I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing. Everything is like moving and shaking out there. The trees, the tarp on the shed, just everything. So I apologize if you can hear all that noise. That's good. It's a sign of spring. Here anyway. Yep, that was loud. So there we go with this pair. Again, I think they're really cute. Alright, moving on. Another little pair of heart beads. These ones are the pink, you know, like a check glass heart. And this one I'm going to use the ball stud earring post. And a pretty little pink pearl. So again, with the pink heart at the bottom, I'm going to use a ball head pin. I am again going to do a wrapped loop. Try to keep it so you guys can see it, but I also need to see it. Give that little wire tuck. And there we go. There's that one. And then the pearl's going to have this pretty little lacy bead cap. That's just my fingernails. And another simple loop. It didn't come in very tight. A little better. And looking for a jump ring. There's supposed to be a jump ring in this one. And we're going to use the jump ring to attach this to the top of your pink heart. And then the bottom of the pink heart will be attached to your little pearl. And bottom of your pearl, get the right one here. Do not. Attach to the top of your other little pink heart. And there we have another set. I love this set. I think this one's really, really pretty. It's probably my favorite one. Alright, moving on. And I have two that are going to use these large white pearls. This one is also using the ball head ear post, a length of this really, really pretty chain, and then two teeny tiny daisy spacers, the pearl, and a head pin. So we're just going to put on the tiny little daisy spacer, the pearl, another daisy spacer, and if we can pick it up. And we're going to do a simple loop. I'm not a simple loop, I'm sorry, a wrapped loop. And there's that. Trim it off. Tuck that little wire. If I can get it. It's spinning on me. Need to get it in with something a little smaller, I think. There is that. Alright, so this chain is a stainless steel chain that came from Amazon. It has all these pretty little diamond cuts in it. I've used it in a tutorial before. I made a necklace with it. I absolutely hated it in that necklace because it was so hard to get my links in there, but I have discovered why. I was pinching the link when I was cutting the other one free. So it worked out pretty well for me this time, so as long as I'm paying attention, I think I will be okay. I just want to get this on the right one. The one I need to cut away is this one. Just want to be careful not to pinch or distort the one that I need to put the ring through. The problem with these is you do have to cut out after you've cut it, you have to pull out this little section. And the last one came out a lot easier. come off? I think it just came off. I want to make sure I didn't distort that at all. It looks okay. All right. Get my chain out of the way. All my extra junk. And hook on my ear back. Problem with using these little tiny 4mm rings is that your pliers my pliers tend to get in the way when I'm trying to squeeze something else onto it. And I know I don't hold it right. That's my biggest problem with it. There we go. And I'm going to slip this piece of chain on and get it to The struggle is real, folks. Anyone tells you that there is no struggling, they're lying to you. Alright, I'm going to put the chain on first, that way I don't have that in my way. We'll do that first. Again, this chain is not the easiest chain to work with. I almost had it that time. I am going to try it that way again though, because it seemed to work better. And just hold on to that jump ring. Alright, I'm going to have to open these jump rings, these up a little bit like I did last time, evidently. It's such a pain. And I think I used my bead reamer last time. Bead no. Get both ends just so I don't have to deal with it when I get to the other end. Let's see if that helps. Yes, it went right on there. I know I bring this on myself because I hold it wrong, but there we go. Now that I have totally chewed up that jump ring, this one went together really easy. Oh well. Oh well. Make sure that's closed good and tight because that chain piece is very, very thin. There we go. All right. So this very simple pair of earrings turned into a major struggle, but I think they're super pretty. The flash on that chain, I love this chain. I just wish it was easier to work with. But yeah, I think they're very, very pretty. Very romantic. I like these ones a lot. So let's get past that one. And this one also is using the same ear piece, the stud wire. Again, I'm using the big pearl, using this little bellflower bead cap, some crystal pieces. This is a pink crystal coin bead. It still has the wire attached to it from being on the end. There we go. So this really pretty pink crystal coin bead. This and a couple of little 4mm bicone beads in a light pink. I have a ball head pin. I have a eye pin, a jump ring, my ear wire, and my little bead caps. And let's put it together. So we're going to take the ball head pin, the pink coin bead, the bellflower bead cap, and one of these little pink crystals, little bicones. And do a wrapped loop. And there we have that. I've done a lot of these lately. I think I'm getting better at it. I say that and I'll screw the next one up. And there's that piece. And then the bead cap, the pearl, another bead cap, another little bicone, a simple loop, I'm just going to open this piece up at the bottom. Hang on my little dangle. Close it back up. That quite went inside that bead cap. Fight with another jump ring. There. That was way easier than the other one. Yep. I'm getting cockeyed a little bit here. There. I think those are pretty. Look nice on a night out. So that is number 5. Where are we at for time? Not doing too bad. Is that number 5? No, that was number 8. Wow. Good. And these ones are another little hangy bellflower style. Again, I used that little coin bead. So this one, yeah. This one I need a head pin for. Didn't get one out. So we'll just knock everything on the floor while we're looking for one. Here we go. And we're just going to put it right up inside of this pretty little flower. Get that one out of the way. I'm going to drop the cap right down over it. Put this little lacy cap upside down on it and drop on our little coin bead. And then this is going to be a wrapped loop. Yeah, not too bad. Cute little earring. A lot of these would be really cute for like a young girl, young teen or a tween, just starting to wear, you know, a lot of earrings. My granddaughter, she's 9, and she's just now starting to get into the dangly earrings. She's always worn just post earrings because, you know, being young, we didn't want her ripping her earring through or anything. So, but now she's getting a little older and she wants to try out all the dangly ones, so she may end up with a few pairs of these. It'd be great in her little Valentine. I'd get her a little Valentine basket. So they'd be great. Put a couple pairs of these right in there with it. I think this pair right here would be really cute. I think I'll probably end up giving these to her. I like these. They're cute. So there's that one. That was a very simple pair. This pair is also extremely simple. It is just this pretty painted porcelain bead, a couple of bead caps, and the little pink tassel. I know tassels are in. I'm not a huge tassel fan myself, but I know they're in. People love them, so there you have that. Just my 2 cents worth. So I have these little bead caps that look like a little star. Just going to put that on, the porcelain bead. Another one on. And give it a simple loop. My desk is starting to get really messy. I can't find anything now. Yeah, these ones are very simple. And I'm just going to string on this little tassel. And my ear wire. Yeah, they're cute. Just not something I would wear, I guess. I just don't do tassels. Just not my thing. But to each his own. There are people who absolutely love tassels, and these are really cute. So there's that pair. Alright, let's go with this one first. I think it's a little easier. Maybe quicker. This one is also going to use a little bit of chain. Got this pretty twisted ring. We used 3 sections. Did I use 3 sections of chain or just one and just string everything to it? I guess I just strung everything to one. So it's like a cluster. And I've got this little flower. A More of those little pink bicones, a little teeny tiny butterfly, and a little flower. So I'll take the flower first, and all I did was take a big jump ring. Actually, I think I want this one. It's a little bit bigger. Open it up wide enough to get it over that flower. I think I need to do this with my fingers. Close that up. So we have this. And I also need jump rings that I didn't get out. Several. I might as well just put a pile of those with my ear wires. Alright, so the chain I used on this one also came from that package. It's just a chunkier wire. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 links. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to open this one right here. And we'll get this out of the way. I'm going to take the other jump ring, attach one end of the chain, and our pretty ring link. I'm going to open it up a little more. It's pretty thick. It's not going to close well for me, evidently. Come on now. Oh, I'm going to end up warping it. I did too. I ended up warping it a little bit. But I'm not going to dig out another one right now. We're just going to work with this. I'll fix it later. No. I can't stand looking at that. I'm sorry. Alright. Just get it done and over with now. Throw that one right in the trash. We can do a little better job this time. Oh, much better. Much better. All right. So on the back of this one, I just took my jump ring to attach the chain and just went through the back side of this bigger jump ring. So that's all I'm going to do here. Tip it over and get that link out of the way because that went to the chain. I don't want to accidentally grab it as my 4mm jump ring. So I'm going to go right through the back side and hook on my chain. And there is that piece. Something else I didn't do was get out a couple of... Man, thought I was doing so good putting these together last night. I did not get out the 2 head pins for the crystals. That one's pretty wonky. Alright, so both of these are just going to get... And this one is like a little 4mm rondelle in pink. And this one is a 4mm clear bicone. So they are both going to get wire wrapped. And I could, in theory, just wire wrap these right to the chain, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use a jump ring on them. That's what I did on that one. So there's one. And 2. Just give them a little trim. I love how the wire always ends up curling around like that. Push my little wire end in. There. And we're just going to take 4 little jump rings. I'm going to stagger these. I'm not going to do them in any random order. I mean, in any order. They're going to be random. I think on these ones I went one side of the chain back and forth. So like if I laid it out, it would be kind of like, no, maybe not. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. The chain's going to flip and flop so much that it doesn't really matter. So we'll start with the flower. I am going to do them in the same orientation. And I'm going to go right in on that first one. And second one is going to be the little clear bicone. And I think I'll go down to the third one. Yeah, we'll go to the third one. And then we're going to do the little butterfly. That came on there. And we'll go down to, let's go to number 5. And then the last one is this little pink rondelle. Oh. Hold on to it, Shamroy. And I'm going to go down to the last one. And then put on my ear wire. And there you have it. Another cute little pair of earrings. I like these ones too. I would wear these ones. They're really cute. So there's another pair. I think that is pair number... we got 3 pair left, so that was pair number 11. Alright, we'll do another red pair. This is also using a length of chain. It is also using a flower bead that goes right through. On this one I am going to wire wrap just a little bit. This is 20 gauge silver tone wire. I'm just going to cut off a little piece. It's about 3 to 4 inches. Go through the flower and fold it right up over. I don't want in the back, see how it leaves a little space? I don't want to fold that too tight because I am going to have to get a jump ring in there. So with my shorter length, the one I brought from the back, I am just going to wrap right around this wire that's standing straight from the front 2 times. Try to anyway. So I have this. It almost looks like a little eye pin or head pin. I'm going to trim that wire off and tuck that a little bit. And then I'm going to take the tip of my round nose, put it right on that twist, tip the whole thing sideways so I have some space there, go into that bend and up and over just like we've been doing with the small head pins. That was a little wonky there. And see if we can wrap that so it looks somewhat neat. And get one more wrap on it. Bring it around to the back. And again, trim it off, tuck it in. This one is a little more of a messy wrap than the head pins make, but that's okay. Twist my loop so that it's front facing. Make sure everything's all tucked. And there you have it. And then we're going to take this jump ring, open it up. I already cut my chain for this one, evidently, which is good. You can go with any length you want. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links on it. But you can go with any length. You can make them longer, you can make them shorter. And then I'm just going to go in that space in the back. Close it up. And that's going to let my chain hang down the back of it. And then we're going to take, I don't know why I had that one up. I'm going to take this cute little milky white 8mm rondelle, do a simple loop, so I hope I've shown you a couple of different little techniques something out of the ordinary today. I mean, running that wire for one thing, and hopefully a few little things that you can use to create for yourself. And I'm going to open this up and attach it right to that chain. Just pull out your beads, play with them, see what you can come up with. You know, it's a lot of fun. I'm going to open up the one at this end, and I feed on this little, this came in the same mixed color bag of little gems as the ones from this one here. They were just all mixed colors. And I'm out of ear wires again. Well, oh, here we go. There's a couple more left. This is the little, I separated them into two different jars, this size and the other size, but these are all, and I believe I got them from Amazon. It was quite a while ago though. I'd say 3 years ago. But I have no doubt you could find them pretty much anywhere. They're just a simple little charm. So there is another pair all done. Aren't those cute? I like them. All right, we are almost done. We have 2 pair to go. My little red and pink earring Blitz is almost done. So this one is, again, using a little flower component, a little metal leaf, some more of those little pink bicones, a clear basseted rondelle, another little charm and bead cap. So that one does use chain. And again, this also came from that. It was a package of 10, so there was a lot in it. I am not going to measure it out. I'm going to cut off what looks good to me. I'll probably end up having to add more because I'll wish I had measured it out, but yeah, let me see. I'm just eyeballing it, but yeah, I think that looks pretty close. Yeah, I think maybe I'll actually end up having to cut a little off. So that's not too bad. All right, we're going to take one of the eye pins and do a simple loop on this little flower bead. So there's that one. And for the next one, we are going to take our yep, our faceted bead is not here. Alright, let's get out another one then. This is just a strand of faceted crystal beads. Try to get it off there so I can use it again to tuck the next one. Alright, now we will do this. Put it on our eye pin, drop our little flower over it. This time we're using this little flower bead cap. Get on there. And simple loop. Tighten that one up a little bit, I guess. And we will then attach this flower to it, right to the top of it. And I need another eye pin for the one of these little pink bicones. And you want to be really careful when you bend over a bicone because they are fragile and they will break. Trim it off. And there's our little bicone for the leaf. I didn't quite close it all the way, but that's okay because I'm going to open it up anyways to, oops, probably not in frame, to attach the leaf to. So we have this little component here that will go on one end of our chain, and another ball head pin for the last crystal. And this is just going to be a simple loop, a wire wrap loop on a ball head pin for this little crystal. Got more loop on my plier than I do on my crystal. Give that a snip and a tuck. And then we'll go on the other end of our chain. Alright, now what we have to do is, and you know what? I was supposed to wire wrap that to my chain because it's not going to go on like that. Alright, which is good. I can show you how to do that for anyone who doesn't know. Alright, we'll start the process over again. Alright, at this point, you want to slip your chain on and get it to snap. There you go, there's the snap. So I want to keep my chain out of the way. So I want it on the inside of my pliers while I hold my loop. And take my other pair of pliers and wrap. And our chain is attached. And then cut this off. Tuck that little end. And there we go. There's our chain. Now we're going to open this one up. And attach it to the other end of the chain. Close it up. Now at this point I'm going to take the little open piece of my well, I'm going to open up my eye portion of the eye pin down here at the crystal. Hold my bead with my thumbnail so it doesn't go anywhere on me while I open it. Don't want it wiggling around. And I'm just going to feed my chain on through one of the links somewhere in the middle. I don't really want it totally centered. It's hard to do and hold it at the same time. There we go. I got it. Oops. Oh, I just broke that. Dang! Alright. Well, shows you what can happen during jewelry making. This is very real. This is what it does. Alright. So we'll just take that off. And get out another one. And quickly restring it. It's all good. Oh yeah. Alright. Just open that back up now. Put this one back onto it. And then we go back to the bottom and try again. See what we can do this time. Find the side that opens. Because I didn't measure my chain against the other one, it may come out a totally different length, which is fine with me right now. I don't care. But yeah, if you're making them to wear or sell or do anything with other than just show like I'm doing right now, you definitely gonna want to make sure your two lengths of chain are the same. Let's see what I got. Actually, they came out almost perfect. Couldn't do that again if I tried. Alright, let's put our ear wire on the flower. And there we have it. Two more cute little earrings. They're not that far off from each other. Maybe two lengths. I don't know. I can shorten this one up after. So there's another pair. Alright, our last pair. Yay! And these ones came like this in a big package. They are a pink tiger eye in a little heart bale, heart cage. They're super simple because all I'm going to do is add a jump ring and the butterfly to it. I honestly don't even know where I got them. Maybe eBay. There's a big package of them. I bet there was probably 100 of them in it. And all I'm going to do is put this jump ring right through the bottom of the cage. I want to go through two so that I'm coming out even. Put on my little butterfly. Close it back up. And make sure my butterfly is front facing. Put on my ear wire. And I did not get it front facing. That's better. My jump ring's ruined now, but I'll have to replace that. Too bad. So there is number 14. Alright, so I'm going to go through them all, holding them up and showing them. And there's that pair. Make it quick because I'm already well over an hour here. And there's that pair. And there's my tassel pair. And the cute little roses. And the little pink flowers with the rings. One of my favorite pair. These simple little bellflower ones. Containers galore here. And the other pair of pearls. And the little pink hearts. That one just broke, so the jump ring on it just broke off. So I'll show you one. I have to replace the jump ring on that one. And then we've got the little fans with the butterfly. The little red rose tube beads. The red heart ones with the little silver hearts hanging down. I do love these ones. And the little pink tulips with the pink pearl. And last but not least, our 14th pair, which was our first one putting together, so I went backwards here, is our little dragonflies. And I just dropped one on the floor, so I will show you the one. With that pretty little red brillet. So there's our 14 pairs of red and pink earrings for February 14th. Thank you all for joining me. I hope that you learned something from this. I hope it was helpful. If nothing else, I hope it was entertaining. And I hope it encourages you to dig through your stash of beads and just play around and see what you can come up with. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Much love to you all. Bye.